Ladies and gentlemen, I got rage baited by a dear friend of mine, Zy0x's 77, 67, something like that. I forget how to pronounce his name. He made a favorite Stygian boss tier list. Obviously, it's personal preference. We're not here to judge. We're not here to pose judgment. But he did put Papilla in S tier. I then looked up Papilla, saw a video by him called I Hate the Papilla. Again, we're not passing judgment. We're only passing gas. What the fuck am I saying? Sorry. But I hate the Papilla. So it naturally rage baited me into wanting to maybe make my own. We'll see. You know what? I just want to talk about the Papilla. Then we can end the video, the stream, close the tab, move on with our day. So let's talk about the Papilla. Papilla, listen, bro. I'm going to give the Papilla a little bit of glazing and then a little bit of hating. First of all, what are the parameters of my judgment? Number one, personal enjoyment, how I feel, me as a human. Number two, I don't know, like the shillness, the shill-o-meter. There's a shill-o-meter of the boss, and there's like the flexibility of like team building, gameplay, how interesting it is, the mechanics, how fun it is to fight. Oh yeah, also difficulty 5 and 6. Well, I guess mainly just 5 and 6. Now, I think as a creator of content and maker of guides, I do need to do more difficulty 5s because 6 is like no one does it. Well, most people don't. 5 is like you actually get all the rewards, so it matters more. 6 is more like play this one team or have constellations or both. Most of this is 5, like both 5 and 6 from lived experience and seen experience. But anyways, so Papilla, look, okay, Papilla's a love-hate relationship because the thing with and there's no love, it's mostly hate. The one thing with Papilla that I like, there's one thing, and it's that the shield is breakable by more than just one thing. A decent actually, yeah, wait, this isn't the updated one. Wait, W. Wait, thanks, Hopeful. The Papilla is like, okay, the shield in practice isn't that bad because yes, it needs Night Soul to, like, it incentivizes Night Soul to break it. It's more effective, more efficient, all that. But what the fuck is this, yo? This is sus, bro. This is sus. Okay, look. So obviously, like that's one cool part, right? However, a not cool part. Stop that being sus, bro. The not cool part is that, okay, I got distracted. Obviously, it incentivizes Night Soul, but you can break it without it. And there's a lot of Night Soul or Natland 4-stars or free characters. You can use PMC, who's free, especially like an Overload team with like official, fast elemental application. You can use like Auroron. You can use obviously a lot of good Natland 5-star carries. And usually at the time, you at least would pull for one if you're at least somewhat efficient. Obviously, you don't need all of them, but there's a lot, okay? And because of that, and you can even like, I think difficulty 5, you could Hyper Bloom. Don't quote me on that. I know in Abyss you can. But anyways, like, for those reasons, I don't think it's as bad if we're being objective as far as team building. However, not getting like your Fav and Sax and energy from the shield. Not being able to fucking do anything other than just fucking lock on the shield. The enemy fucking turns into a bunch of different things. Knight, whom I love, and I know I'm biased, doesn't fucking work half the time because it'll dodge all your fucking shots. Even though I cleared C0 Dire with Knight, I have to put that in there. It's not a skill issue, like I did it, but it was fucking annoying. Look, okay, look. I know your experience on the Papilla will vary based on who you have. If I'm being, and this is a purely subjective list, if I'm being a little objective, the fact that you can change a few like team aspects, can add even 4-star Natland characters, and can use like different elements, Overload teams, stuff like that to break the shield, makes me, from a like philosopher's standpoint, kind of like that aspect. Personally though, and you can say I'm wrong, I feel like fighting the boss, unless I was playing like Mawika or something, really, or Chaska, really felt like shit. If I'm wrong, you can, I'm fine. It just felt to me really not fun to fight. It was just annoying. The breakpoint was annoying. The energy management was annoying, more so than the average boss. Now, are there worse culprits of shill? Absolutely. Was it a bad one that at the time made me crash out, made a lot of people crash out? Yes. So I can't Like, if I'm following my heart, I'm chucking him in the bottom. If I'm being a bit logical, somewhere here. Somewhere here. It's not touching S, but it's not F. This fucker is... This fucker... If I was locked in a room with the Papilla and this dog and a gun with 2 bullets, I'm shooting the fucking dog twice. Matter of fact, I'm shooting the dog once and shooting myself afterwards. In game. Anyways, I don't know. I'm trying to be true to myself, but also be true to my thoughts, you know? It's like follow your brain or follow your heart. Brain says like here, heart says here. So I think like B, you know? I think it's like a B. Because it doesn't, I don't think it feels good. I don't think anyone's like, yes, Papilla. I don't think anyone has ever said that. But I think it's more doable than a lot of the shill bosses. That's my take. And I'm a hater of this guy. But I'm gonna see how I feel about this. Like, let me do another add a row below. Revisit at the end when pure of heart. Why? Because I want to put this guy in F. Okay, I really do. But I'm gonna put it here. Also, D is a fake tier. It's F. If you're only gonna have this many tiers, you need an F tier. D is fucking fake. We should do a tier list. What? Anyways, okay, next boss. Should I go in order? I'm gonna talk about someone I love. Person I admire and strive to be like in the future. The lava dragon statue. This guy, I used to not understand the mechanics and kind of hate it. Once I figured out how it worked, I grew a passion for it. I like that this enemy, the shield of it, incentivizes creative pyro team building, okay? I don't think it might not be S, but it let Amber, who everyone has, even without elegy or whatever, I think I used Fav, become a good character. You could use fucking random pyros to break the shield that just have fast pyro app, and it worked. Klee even became better here. And I think that's pretty cool. You could use many different... Okay, so the one thing it did was it made pyro DPSs a bit worse because of the way the res worked was... it had like full resistances, then you break the first shield. There's 2 shields. You break the first shield, it lost a lot of resistances, but not pyro. So other DPSs were favored there, mainly Electro and Dendro. Well, can each, but Electro and can each. And then once you cleared the other shield, you could also use pyro. For the most part, there was some like team building flexibility. Again, Overload, Kniech. Pyro DPSs worked like with Burning. Burning worked too. You could chuck like Emily there. I think I did Arlecchino Emily. I'm pretty sure you could use the Pyros, but you'd have to break both shields to actually DPS with Pyro. I liked it though. I'm more fond of that time because it was like the first Stygian and it was really cool. But like even looking at the team I used for Dire, it's like Shangling on Fav probably and fucking Amber. Like what? And then, you know, two DPSs. So I like the boss. I don't know. I think it's good. So what I think makes it good design is just that it rewards creativity. Like it made me feel good for thinking to use Amber. And I think that's cool. Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty, and it's not like, oh, you need to pull for Amber. Like you have Amber. So I like that. I do admit though, sometimes it felt like shit to fight. Like it wasn't my favorite boss fight, but I think the design was pretty cool. I think there was a lot of fearless teams for this guy that had a wide variety of characters. I don't think it was too shill DPS wise. I don't know where I can find that info though, because it's been a while. R/Raiden mains. I cleared the Lava Dragon statue with C0 Raiden. Okay, well that's an example. Obviously it's C6 Chevy, but C0 Raiden, Chevy, Shangling, Bennett. Like, look, man, I know it's, you know, you incentivizing like overload, stuff like that, but I think it's interesting, okay? I do. Yeah, Electro works, Dendro works, Pyro works. 3 elemental DPSs, I think that's fine. Okay, Hydro Tulpa, another guy who fighting I fucking hate, but in practice, not that bad. I think it depends. So I'm more of a Dire player. And as a Dire player, Tulpa was the you-know-what for a lot of people. As far as Fearless goes though, which I think is more what I'm trying to base this around, I think Tulpa was fine. Tulpa incentivized, it let you vape all the time. It let you even trigger some bonus like electro charges, hyper blooms, well, bloom, and then you hyper bloom them. Stuff like that, which I think is cool. Skirk even worked. Skirk worked, that rhymes. Sorry. Skirk worked. Like Dendro teams in difficulty 5 could work. Some electro stuff, a lot of pyro. Pyro really helped a lot. Arlecchino, Mawika, Shangling. You could double Pyronado against this boss. I remember, bro. Now, something I didn't like was in dire difficulty, really punishing. The shield was so fucking tanky. You miss it by a frame, you insta-die. But that's dire, and I'm C0 dire, so like I expect to suffer. That's on me, that's not on the Tulpa. I think I actually like the Tulpa. I think Tulpa's A, maybe edging the S. I'm gonna be honest. And this is coming from someone that got really angry fighting the Tulpa. I like Tulpa. Yeah, honestly, now the Nodcry carries would fuck up the Tulpa even more. I don't know, A or S, chat? What do you guys think? I can't decide. I think I'll leave him an A for now, but I do like both. All right, these are A for now. This guy's edging S too, though. I don't know, man. I love these guys. Hey, Skirk boss, fuck you, okay? Fuck you. I've had friends tell me, like real people I know, tell me, yo, I pulled Skirk just for this boss. Yo, I pulled a Escoffier just for this boss. Now listen, I know there's some cracked, I saw like a cracked, I think 4-star clear on Billy when it came out. I saw like some Ayaka stuff, but for most people, it's like Skirk or Escoffier, and I find it really annoying. It's very like overtly shill. It just needs cryo. And like, I like Skirk. She's a character I enjoy playing, but it's just not fun. Now, I will give one thing to Skirk is that at least once you have her in a Escoffier, like I've seen people clear even without Farina with like Xingqiu. Your other cryo can be kind of whatever. Difficulty 5, you could use either Skirk or Escoffier. You don't really need both. And there's some Ayaka teams I've seen, stuff like that. But I still think it's too restrictive and annoying. And it's not the same type of restriction as some of the others. So there's still other restrictions that are bad. But like at least with the Tulpa, right, which is gonna rank higher, at least you could use like Auroron, Pyro MC, a Natlan carry of element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. This thing is just cryo. I'm actually gonna ask a question. Is there a single fearless clear of this guy without a single cryo unit? Is that even possible? Well, I guess you could ask, is there any of this with no pyro? So maybe that's not fair. I guess that's not fair. Ignore that question. That's kind of not fair. Okay, I'll give it one redeeming quality. I'm pretty sure you could like Mualani Escoffier or something. I saw I think I saw a dire Mawika clear this without Skirk, but still like, cause okay, you could like Sitlali or Escoffier and then Mawika or probably Arlecchino. Double cryo Arlecchino can. Let me see. C1 R1 clear. I don't want to see that. C0 R0. Wait. Fearless. Yeah, okay, like this to me, C0 R0 Arlecchino double cryo. Like, yeah, you're using Sitlali, that's a 5-star, but at least you can do that. Now, I think most accounts that do this are
transfixed.
Wait, let's see. Oh my god, my laptop's overheating. I can't pause the video. I can't lower. It's so loud. It's so loud. My laptop's fucked. I wanted to see his build, bro. I wanted to see his build. Okay, look, the fact that you can double cryo clear, like difficulty 5, let's say, with some really strong carries, like melt carries, like Mawika and Arlecchino, that might be it, other than cryo carries, helps a little. It's maybe still F though, like maybe C-. I think no one likes this boss. I think like it would be almost performative for me to say I like it, but I think there's worse. This fucker. Spoiler alert. It might still be C though. It's also extremely boring. From a like having fun perspective, I'm literally just mashing and not moving the whole time. C0 R1 Varker clears with Chongyun, Layla, Sucrose, and Mawika can. Okay, with updated information, I still want to put it F, probably C-. There's some, very little, but some double cryo interesting things you can do, which bump it a tier, but for most of the clears, it's just like, do you have Skirk or Escoffier? Or some really cracked cryo. I'm gonna skip Turtle for now. Do I want to talk about the Cactus? Cactus, I honestly don't mind as much as you might expect. I don't like Cactus, but I don't hate Cactus. The reason why I don't hate it that much is because it's obviously, it's like the better of the taser shills. Like, it's not as bad as the other ones that really want Electro Hydro. The reason for that is, I'm pretty sure I did a Fearless clear with like 4 stars, or there at least exists some. Like, you could use really good, I think I did this actually. I think you can use really good like Fischl, Aurora on Xingqiu and get through it. It wasn't that tanky. It's annoying, but it wasn't that much of a fuck you. It felt like Inefa and Flynn's, well, Flynn's wasn't out, but Inefa was incentivized, but not that needed. Like, it helps, and obviously I used her for Dire, but for like Fearless, it wasn't an absolute must. Annoying enemy, but honestly not the worst. I don't think it's the same tier as Tulpa and Lava though, so it might be B. Or it's like this, but that might be a Nightmare Blood rotation. But honestly, it might be that. But I think it's 1 tier below these two. Like, there's some annoying parts of it, but I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, like, I remember doing Fearless without Inefa. It's not creative enough. True, but as, like, it is a incentivized Electrocharge boss, but you could get through it with a good DPS, and then you just slot in Electrocharge. Or you could, like, you know, or you could play a team that has it, like Hyper Bloom, or even good 4-star Electro and Hydros, which are common elements, good 4 stars. I think that's like, that elevates it for me, even if it's not the most flex. Mualani could just brute force it. Yeah, that too. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like B. Aeonblight Drake, I remember liking, let me think. This was the one I Mualani'd, right? And then couldn't do it, so I've arrested. Sorry. Yeah, this guy wasn't that bad. This guy wasn't that bad. I actually think it was a fair fight. It didn't like fly the whole time. Like, it didn't. Drake in the Abyss that starts flying is really annoying. This one didn't do that. I spent maybe 20-30 hours on doing a Mualani, Widsith, Mawika, Sitlali Dire attempts. Got really, really close. Then I cleared it with Vressa in like 1 hour. But the fact that even in Dire, I could use more than 1 team. And for Fearless, you could use a lot of different teams because you didn't need a specific element. I think it's a cool boss. And it's one of the bosses I mauled it at the most. But I think it was pretty cool. It's not that, like, it didn't really make you do anything too creative in terms of team building. Like, I think you just played good teams. So maybe it's like A+. But because a lot of the other bosses have something fucking annoying about them, this one not being that annoying is a lifesaver. Were there even that annoying mechanics? Oh, I guess it's you needed 2 elemental damage. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing. Which, okay, to be fair, it made it to where I couldn't really play some DPSs I liked that were very hyper carry-y. But, oh my god, I remember this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why it's going in S tier. I cleared Fearless Aeonblight Drake with Shao. Now, I know my Shao is constellated, but against a single target, his cons do very little. But, you know, whatever. I used Shao in Anemo and Pyro Plunge Shao with C6 Bennett. Absolute cinema. But yeah, for Fearless, there's a lot you could do. Dire, there was some as well. Like, either, a lot of it was Mawika, right? Mawika, someone else. But for Fearless, a lot you can do. I think I even did, like, I think for Fearless, I did Nevelet Skirk, which is cool. Vressa Mawika, Mualani Mawika, Kanich Mawika. But yeah, Chaska. Well, who's your other DPS with Chaska? I don't know actually, but it needing 2 DPSs is a bit annoying, but I still think it was cool, man. Yeah, this was around when the Mawika optimized combos came out. I learned that. I had to learn that shit, bro. I started being clean near the end. Okay, this guy. Okay, let's talk about the crab. Crab. Can I be honest? Can I be honest about the crab? Can I be honest about the crab? There were some interesting mechanics, like you could stack up the balls and then with Lauma hold E and you could one-shot it and clear it in like 30 seconds. Even in Dire, I think I did it, but it's not showing, so maybe I didn't. I swear I did it though. Maybe it was difficulty 5, maybe it was another account, I don't know. And in Fearless, you could use some Bloom teams that weren't just Lauma, like some Alhaithan things, I think Nilu. But for the most part, it really, really wanted Lauma. It wanted Bloom in general, Nilu, Lauma, something like that. I think it was just really cringe. You need Bloom or you're fucked, basically. I want to put it in F. Now, I'm gonna see if there's exceptions. I'm gonna like kind of look into it a bit. My good friend Kamimos sometimes posts teams he recommends for Stygian. Shout out to Comemos. I want to see what he put for this. Llama, Nevalette, Hyperbloom, Four-star, not really, actually, there's Yelan. So generic Hyperbloom. I want to see how Hyperbloom performed. It might be this tier. Let me see. Hyperbloom, Crab, Stygian, Fearless. 4-star only Stygian Onslaught, Fearless, Crab. Okay, it might be C, bro. C for Crab. It was really fucking annoying, though. I did not like fighting this guy. It's also, I mean, it's cut into clothes, but... Yeah, but look at the team. I mean, I think... Here's how I feel. Here's how I feel. No logic. I do this or this. With a little bit of logic, at least this guy had, like, some Hyperbloom you could do. The Cryo guy didn't have as much... Well, the Cryo guy feels even less free-to-play accessible than the Crab boss. At least the Crab boss has a 4-star Hyperbloom team. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is kind of cool. Fearless DPS. Wait, there's like a Fearless matchup chart. Yo, thank you, chatter. Oh, it shows the thing per character. That's actually kind of cool. Anyways, all that to say, I think Crab is Man, fuck the Crab! Why are you yelling more than usual? Oh, oops. Sorry to neighbors. I hate the Crab. The one redeeming quality is at least there's a free-to-play team that can clear it. I still think it's more annoying and more cringe, though. I don't know. Check the sheet. No, but didn't the sheet literally say what I just said? That, like, there's a lot less, even for Fearless, right? Look at how many teams are no's. Like, there's a lot. Yeah, okay, the new DPS are yes, but there's even more no's. And, like, look at the miscellaneous. There's one. Whereas here for the Cryo Automaton, and I don't want to base my whole judgment off a random spreadsheet, but Automaton, at least all the Cryo DPSs have a team, right? Or not all, but most. Like, this is well, that's the C1 Ganyu. I ignore that. But C0 Ayaka, C0 Ayaka, C0 Risley. Refresh it. Why, bro? Why would I refresh this? Yo, who is the owner of the sheet in the fucking chat? I will find you, bro. Yo, mods. I have content to do today. I gotta move on. I'm gonna leave it in F. It might go here though. I don't know. It's somewhere in here. Honestly, like, add a row below D, bro. Okay, listen. Let's just cut to the chase, bro. Loose goose on the loose. Fucking this guy's an F, okay? Nobody likes this fucking dog. One of the most absurd shill mechanics we've ever seen. You have Night Soul, or you have Night Soul, you have Natlan, or you fucking die. Use lunar mechanics or go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. I hate this fucking dog. In Dire, it was hell. For me, it was absolute hell. In Fearless, also very annoying, also extremely annoying. I'm pretty sure the only Fearless teams were like the Nodcry characters and the really cracked other ones. So for example, like the best of the best like really good Mawika or Skirk teams. Maybe. Still extremely annoying. Like, Dire is obviously going to be annoying, but when Fearless is also super restrictive and super annoying, the Dire clear took less than 2 hours. What do you mean, hell? Okay, yes, but like, it forced me to use Nefer. Like, I think I wanted to use Flynn's and it was more annoying. I don't know, man. I don't remember, bro. Whatever. I don't like this guy, okay? I don't like this guy. I don't think anyone likes this dog, so I'm preaching to the choir. Let's go in order, though. This guy... Okay, one thing I'll say about this guy, I managed to... Okay, one cool thing I'll say is that for the Fireblade Shock Trooper, at least you can Gene cheese it. I warned you! I managed to clear it in like 30 seconds on a viewer account with Gene Zhongli. I think that's a redeeming quality. But as far as the actual game design goes, I warned you! Not a great enemy. Restrictive Electro Shield. You want Taser for it. Afterwards, it loses Electro Res. There's some teams that can brute force it, at least for Fearless. Like, you could Skirk it, you could Mawika it, which I think is fine. Like, being able to brute force it makes it better than not being able to, but it still didn't feel that interactive. It was like, do this or brute force it or die. Not really fun to fight. Yeah, you didn't get much energy unless you electrode, right? I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. Yeah, I guess. Okay, take a shot every time he says Skirk and Mawika can brute force. Yeah, that's a common theme. The broken characters can ignore the mechanics, but outside of that, can you move my fucking face? Yeah, outside of that, very annoying. But I will say, looking at the Fearless sheet, there are a lot of teams that could run like Farina Official or Singcho Official or something like that in Fearless and then have a good DPS and get through it. Still was really annoying to fight, but I think it's not as bad. Fuck, bro. I think it's worse than the Cactus, but better than this guy. Low key, bro. Low key. Like, I think it's worse than the Cactus, but I don't think it's... There's too many tiers. Is it next to the Cactus? Yeah, I think it's worse than the Cactus, but better than those. Okay, next one. Herra. Listen, okay, I don't think it's gonna be in the video, so I'm gonna re-explain it. I did a full 180 on the Herra. Herra is Nodcry Shill. If you don't know how it works, when you do damage to it of a specific element, without any Nodcry stuff, you do damage from an element, it becomes like to break a shield, fill up a meter. It then becomes immune to that element and you can start doing damage to it. But it also becomes constantly infused with that element. So it's annoying because obviously if you're using just one element, becomes immune to it, you can't do damage of that element. But, and also if you do Nodcry lunar reaction damage, then it doesn't become immune to anything, which is the shill part and quite annoying. However, you could fill up the meter with just physical attacks, but it took a long time. So you would need either a fast attacker, or where I think things were interesting is if you have a weapon like Skyward Blade, Viridescent Hunt, or Crescent Pike, which is the free-to-play option. Or Skyward Blade can be if you get lucky, but yeah, it's a 5-star. It made it to where like using those weapons were interesting and it felt good to use. It enabled some weird things like Noblesse Skirk, which I'll get into later. But if you didn't have those or didn't want to use them, the boss really felt like shit. Like, I know this is about Stygian, but I remember the first time I fought this in the overworld, I got angry. Like, it's not a fun mechanic, but there's ways to make it like cool team building. Okay, I know how it works. I'm gonna work around it, use my brain and not just oonga boonga. Actually, I'm gonna go back and say I'd argue that a boss being annoying the first time you fight it could make for good design if it rewards you for knowing what you're doing and not just having good artifacts. I kind of like that. And the fact that you could make it perma cryo and melt every meltable hit, I think is a pretty cool. Like, so for example, right, when I cleared this on Dire, you might look at this team and be like, Zy0x, what the fuck are you cooking? It wasn't my idea, but Skirk, Noblesse Oblige, Skyward Blade. You E, Q, burst instantly, no animation, attack really fast, Skyward Blade gives you extra hits, you apply cryo, it becomes immune to cryo, but always has a cryo aura, so your Mawika can melt your hits. You could even use Skirk DPS, apply Hydro, right? It's always Hydroed, Skirk DPS. So I actually found that pretty cool. Now, yes, there's some shill elements to it because Nodcry characters, you don't really have to think. You can just lunar react and get through it. So there's that for the people that don't want to think, which is annoying. Like, it's an upside for them. It's annoying if not, because it's, you know, a bit chilly. But I don't think it's done as badly as like the dog. I really don't think it's that bad. So like, kind of for the reasons why Zy0x likes Pilla, even though I hate Pilla, so maybe I'm contradicting myself, but I think it's a bit different. But I'll extend the olive branch and say I understand. I kind of like Herra. It grew on me. Like, I hated it at first, but it did grow on me. Dude, there's not a single red. There is not a single, not one red. It's either green or yellow, not one red. Honestly, man, I'm radicalized. Fuck it. I'm radicalized. A tier. I don't care. I'm radicalized. A tier. Get mad at me all you want. This guy I remember being like Flynn's shill and annoying, but I don't fully remember him. I'm gonna be honest. This was the guy that dashes and then, oh yeah, he summons the fucking guys. Oh yeah. Okay, he's kind of annoying. It's like the wild hunt guys he summons. Yeah, you need Ascendant Gleam for this guy. This guy fucking sucks. I remember this guy. Yeah, and his guys heal him if you don't kill them. Very, very fucking annoying. Oh my god, yes, the boss has iframes doing fucking teleports and does a ka-ching ultimate. Like 3 health bars. Yeah, this guy's D or F for sure. Let me see the team versatility. Okay, there's actually more than I expected. But I mean, Mawika's Skirk makes sense. Veressa is Electro. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of just a broken team. Mwalani, broken team. Arlecchino Silali, I mean, really good. Honestly, I'm forming my own opinion. I still think it's D tier. Also, maybe this is Dire bias because he was even worse than Dire. Like, 118 seconds with the Shill team. Granted, it's Farina, but Columbina wasn't out, and Farina did better than Ino for me because I didn't have C6 Ino. So Farina's actually better for me. And I think I had Freedom Sworn or something. Like, it wasn't a sneak. It was actually the best option for me. I remember we tested it out a lot. Maybe Dire made him worse. Maybe that's my bias. His HP in Dire was 8.1 mil, and Fearless was only 3. Holy fuck. Okay, maybe he's C then. Maybe he's C. But yeah, that's a huge jump, bro. I'm gonna make another tier, put him in C-. I still think the design sucks though. Like, use fucking Nod Cry or get 5 times the health bar. Like, there's no interactivity. At least for Papilla. Maybe I'm glazing Papilla. At least for Papilla, you could build your team interestingly. This is literally just an HP sponge. Am I missing anything? Are there cool mechanics I'm forgetting? Or is it just an HP sponge? That's all it is. Not for some reason in Nod Cry, the mechanics are just HP sponges. Or Ascendant Gleam. I think it's D. I think it's D. Slightly better than these two though. If you're wondering, slightly better. It's like D+. Arlecchino boss, I'm gonna be honest. The main downside is given, and I'm not trying to be weird here. Okay, this is me respecting the artist. The way she is built forces you into certain, let's just say, suboptimal rotations. Maybe you're a bit distracted. Yeah. Anyways, she wasn't that bad though. Obviously, like Bond of Life, so like Arlecchino and I guess Chlorine technically had an advantage. And I think there was a reaction where you couldn't do, there's a shield where you couldn't do reactions if I remember correctly. But for the most part, I don't think she was that bad. Obviously I cleared her with Arlecchino, but even without it, like there was a lot of overload teams you could do. I guess it was mainly overload, but you could even Gene cheese it. I think you could even Gene like suck her up. Boo! I don't think she was that bad. Honestly, I really don't think she was that bad. It was pretty interesting that you got to use Bond of Life. She did dash around a bit. Like sometimes it was annoying, but that's skill issue. I'd probably put her around here, honestly. I don't think she was that bad. Bro, she applied Cryo Aura on you. Self-reported skill issue in the chat. When you watched Big Z, which is me, clear on Dire, which the Jeff didn't. Sorry, I don't know why I give him a stray. No disrespect. I know he's free to play now. I know. I'm sorry. You would notice that the reason I managed to do it was because I dodged the Cryo Aura. She did an attack, which applied Cryo to you. If you played well, you could dodge that attack and not get the Cryo debuff. So that's actually a form of skill expression, which we condone on this stream. So yeah, B tier plus she looks good. So A tier plus it's International Women's Year. So S tier. Now she's B though. Iniquitous Baptist. I think Baptist is restrictions that are done not too badly because yes, there's elemental shields, but I don't think they were as bad. Like they're not as bad as like even the Bloom or the Cryo guy, because I don't like the Baptist. I've never been a fan of him. So okay, like the Crab, Hyper Bloom could clear it, but also Skirk teams. Okay, every boss Skirk can clear, but like Skirk's Hydro and Cryo were enough to break the shields. What were the shields? It was Electro, Pyro, Hydro. So for the most part, you wanted, you needed Hydro, and then you wanted Cryo or Dendro. I think that's it, right? Yeah, I honestly, like, even the fact that for Dire, I managed to clear it with 2 teams, Nefer and Skirk, and free to, like, let me see the more accessible teams just to stay in touch with the reality, you know? Skirk, Veressa, Mawika, Mwalani, Arlecchino, Chevrolet, Fish. Yeah, Arlecchino Overload. Wait, no Hydro? You just fucking overload it? Okay, my bad. I guess you don't fucking need Hydro. You can just overload it. Zy0x's Baptist with Sethos carry. Yeah, I mean, like, there you go. I think this boss had more interesting stuff you could do. Because yes, there were elemental restrictions, but like, it's Hydro and like Pyro or Electro or something like that. It's not that restrictive, even though it is elemental shields. You can look at Dire clear. Bro, why is the guy talking to me through the spreadsheet? Okay, I'll look at Dire. C1, R1, Arlecchino. But I mean, for Fearless, you wouldn't need C1. Anyways, yeah, I think Baptist was kind of annoying, but I don't think he's that bad. I think he's like probably B. B or C in my mind. Maybe B. I feel like if you struggled with this boss the most, chat, like let me know. But I think most accounts that were built, like not like new accounts, but most accounts had some team, at least for Fearless, that they could kind of muster up. Like, okay, maybe I have to add a Hydro or something, but most good teams had a variation that could clear the shields. The Bat's kind of annoying. It flies, dodges some attacks, kind of annoying. It's been an hour. I'm hurrying up. Bat's kind of annoying, but it did make Yoimiya good, which I liked. It was a lot of Durin. Like for me, like I cleared it with Razor, but that's obviously Durin's doing most of it, or a lot of it. I don't really like the Bat. It was Gene cheesable though. Not even Gene. What the fuck was I doing here? A GeoMC Zhongli cheesable, which I think is cool. Gene could do it too. Yeah. So that's cool. It wasn't that hard to do. You could do it with or without Gene. The boss itself, I think, is not great design. It flies. It's annoying. It has a fucking cryo shield. I don't think it's that great of a design. I don't think it's... Maybe this is just a bad take. I don't think it's as bad as Crab or Cryo Guy, but I don't think it's much better. It's probably C. Maybe D. I could give it D. Let me see. Let me look at like teams. Okay, Loki, every team has cleared this. Well, there's not that many extras. Yeah, like it was annoying. It flied. It was a bit chill. I'm not a fan. Like I might honestly put it D tier, even though I had fun clearing it with Yoimiya and with Razor, but Durin was in my team. God, you got me. Flied? Whatever, bro. Flew. Yo, this experimental field generator. Now, before you say I have an experimental field on my head, I love this boss. I do. Now, look. Am I the plunging guy who mains Shao? Yes. But even outside of Shao, the fact that it made you plunge and you could do some sick-ass rotations with like plunge Flins, plunge Arlecchino, fucking like, well, I think Flinch couldn't plunge, but okay, let me clarify. You could plunge on certain characters, but with others, like Flins who can't plunge, you could do a hop, land, and then use the damage buff to fucking do damage. Because once you jumped high enough, you gained damage. Like, it was an interesting mechanic that changed your rotations. It was cool. Even Kniech could like slide, do a jump, and then Quist go back. Yeah, it was 600% attack, right? It was a lot. Like, it was actually cool. Yeah, and it's not a unit tied mechanic or an element tied mechanic. It's, I think, good boss design. Even though it felt annoying. Like, sometimes I was like, I don't like this. Sometimes it felt clunky, but still the concept I think is really good. And even the execution wasn't bad. Like, it was kind of fun, but sometimes it felt annoying. So I could honestly see it in A. But I like the design. I like that it changed your rotations. It changed your rotations without really changing your team. Pyro Crab, AoE, Hydro Shill, really wanted Neuvillette, but you could do like Molani, Farina. Not great. I don't really like the Crab. It's not the worst because everyone has Hydro, but the crabs you had to group if you didn't have Neuvillette. If you did, you could ignore it. The dire clears were like Neuvillette, Molani. Fearless, I mean, there was more you could do, but not that much. If you ignore Varka because he wasn't out, and Inefa Columbina because it's Inefa Columbina, like, these are all yellow, like Constellated or like maybe. Tight DPS check for Fearless. And then it's like the new DPSs, Skirk, Molani, Neuvillette, that's it, almost. I don't really like this guy. D tier's already so big though. Is that too much? And fucking, like, I'll rearrange it at the end. Honestly, it's low-key worse than the Bat. These two are bad, but not as bad as these three. IMO. But they're worse than this guy. But maybe some of these deserve F. Let's see. Yo, this Mandrake, honestly, bro, you want Pyro or Electro, ideally not both, and Anemo to group a bunch of little dudes. Now, most of it is Venti or Kazuha shilling, which is almost missed because like no other boss is AoE. Except kind of the Crab, but I do like that there's some AoE. Now, most people hate this fucker. I do too because, again, it's mainly based around 2 Anemo units. However, I did see a Dire, Mawika, Sucrose as the only Anemo clear it. No Venti, no Kazuha, which made me respect it a little. Sucrose actually grouped it. You just have to time it with the bounces. So because of that, that was a W speed. It earned a little bit of respect. However, that was Mawika. But I think the concept is that you can use other Anemos if you have enough damage. For the most part, though, it's Venti or Kazuha. Not a big fan. Not super interesting. Not fun to fight. Just kind of annoying. Honestly, just kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, Mualani used Sucrose. Kazuha, Sucrose Varka, Sucrose Singcho, Gaming Sucrose. This is a 4-star only. 4-star only Gaming, 4-star only Aoife Faruzan, 4-star only... Never mind, this is Ganyu, but Ganyu plus 4 stars. Honestly, the fact that Sucrose can be used is preventing it from going... Like, if it was just Venti or Kazuha, maybe F or D. Because you could Sucrose, maybe C. Maybe C. Probably still D, though. I want to put everything in fucking D, whatever, C. Because a lot of people have Kazuha or Venti, and if not, you can use Sucrose. So, I think C is okay. Knuckle Duckle, more like Knuckle fucking suck my duckle. Fuck you, Knuckle Duckle. Nobody likes you. I know should be in jail for making you. Fuck you. F. Now look, I'm a Flynn's main. I love Flynn's. Okay. I know we're not talking about Dire that much, but we have to talk about this. As I'm recording this, maybe this will change. There isn't a single R0C0 Flynn's clear in Dire. Not one. This might change. I think for now, the only one is R1, which almost never happens. The HP that this fucker has is so high. There's one, but it used R5 Jade Spear. Okay, maybe that means that like with perfect artifacts you can. I know someone did it with R1 Inefa. I did it with R1 Flynn's and Inefa. Anyways, we can talk about Fearless, but even Dire is one team only. Literally one team. Or Constellations, but C0, one fucking team. And then Fearless is also super fucking restrictive. I was testing around with a bunch of random teams, and without Inefa or Inefa Columbina, but just Inefa, let's say, or Flynn's, super fucking hard, bro. Super fucking restrictive. Because you need, unless you brute force it or wait, like, you can brute force the little guys with like super high investment, like Skirk, Mawika, probably Veresa. I didn't do it, but I assume you can. You need like a lot of fucking, a lot of damage. And if not, you need Electro. Like, I mean, Electro Charge. Let me look at the Fearless sheet and ignore the Maid Zy0x. Yeah, like, even Zibai and Nefer, doable but hard. Flynn's easy. Mawika, doable but hard. Mawika, doable but hard. Skirk, doable but hard. Veresa, doable but hard. Molani, doable but hard. Arlecchino, doable but hard. Arlecchino, doable but hard. Nevelet, C1, doable but hard. Fucking, this is a C3 Varka. I mean, okay, what? The fucking Inefa, easy. Chalska, doable but hard. Kanich, red. Chlorine, doable but hard. Like, bro, fuck you, man. F tier. Duckle has the same HP as Field Generator, but without the 600% attack buff. If you laugh, you go to Sheznaya. All right, this guy's not out yet. Turtle Boss. Turtle Boss, honestly, I kind of almost don't remember. I remember Mualani being good. Maybe this is on me. Maybe I didn't test enough teams, so I'm willing to admit low knowledge. Oh, I used Skirk too. Oh yeah, I kind of remember. He does a bunch of damage to you as you fight him. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like that mechanic. I like that you're kind of trying not to die as you kill it. But it was pretty freeze chilly. I guess you don't take damage when you just freeze him. So you either Mualani just kill it. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I remember. The mechanic is either freeze it or do big hits of damage, not fast. Like Mualani. So hit, wait, hit, wait, hit, wait, or freeze. So freeze or nuke. Which is cool, but pretty restrictive too. I found it kind of fun. There were some cool techs you could do, but building your team around it was still kind of annoying. Personal enjoyment wise though, I kind of liked it. I don't know. Synchro E for Hydro app was cool. I think it's like B, honestly. Maybe C, but I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on the turtle. Any turtle lovers? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. I could be swayed. I think there weren't that many teams. I don't think it deserves C. I think there's less teams than all of these. Yeah, I can't decide. It's either B or C. I'm gonna make a decision and form an opinion, but I don't think he deserves to be next to this guy. But I don't think he deserves to be next to like the baddie, you know? I'll put him end of B. I'll put him end of B. Okay, Papilla, let's revisit it. Now that we've experienced all the hell of the other guys, Papilla, and I think I'm gonna move some stuff out of D. Papilla, you know what? No, bro, I can't put... Fuck, man. I think Papilla is better than the turtle. I don't know. It depends what the metric is. Can I be honest? If I'm talking about enjoyment, Papilla is worse than these, for sure. I fucking hate the Papilla. Like, I do. And I feel like acting like I don't is just performative. But I think the shield's mechanic is at least interesting team building wise. But it also committed war crimes in 1964. Don't ask the Papilla who it voted for. The Papilla did bad things, okay? I think because of the restrictions, and maybe I'm biased because I play Knight, I think I could put it in C or B, because at least you could argue, like logistically speaking, that there's teams, a lot of teams you can make for it. I'll consult the spreadsheet. Okay, Skirk, yes. I mean, obviously all the Natlands are gonna be yes. Neuvillette, yes. Vark Tua, yes. Natlan. Clorind, yes. Navia, maybe. Nahida, no. Hutao, I mean, C1. Okay, I'll give it this thing. There aren't that many straight up different DPSs, but because you could use like Pyro MC or Overload, or because almost all, this is another thing. Because at the time, because at the time, almost all of the good DPSs were, a lot of them that could clear that level of HP anyways were from Natlan, like a lot of them. Because of that, it made it to where most accounts that were fearless level of investment had at least one Natlan carry. So it made it not that bad in practice because most people that were at that level of investment could make a team for it. Now, you would think that because I said that and because of what I said for Herra would make me put it in A. But I'm gonna be honest, even if that's true, I still disagree with the principle. Like, yes, they made it to where you're probably gonna have a Natlan DPS, but also I think it's just stupid, and like, I don't think it's good design to make it to where not only is it incentivized to get them for the boss, but also make all the best DPSs of the new region. Like, I feel like Natlan started the like power creep trend, and I think Papilla is like a reflection of that. So I don't know. I don't think it's, maybe in theory it should be next to Herra, but I don't really agree with that. I'm gonna put it B. I think, dude, that's a lot of growth. You asked me 2 hours ago where I put this guy, I put him here. Now he's in B. I think that's growth. I don't think it's good for, like, I don't like it. I also think its moveset was complete ass. It dodged a lot. It fucking transformed it. And it honestly might be C. But yeah, that took way too fucking long. Why did I do that? Why Knuckle over Dog? Oh, I don't know if this is ordered. Oh, I said I might move these. Okay, it's not ordered necessarily. But let me just see before I end. Like, maybe I should move one of these to F. Honestly, they're probably all D. I think they're bad. Like, I could see either of these being higher, but I don't really like this guy. I could see like this being, well, I think these are like a tier of their own almost. That could be C. I don't disagree. Let me cross compare with Zaj. What does Zaj post? Holy, wait, he has Crab in A? What the fuck? Bat in D? Okay, I don't disagree. My bat's the same. I thought he liked Field Generator. I know I should just watch the video, but I thought he liked Field Generator. Like, I remember him, again, not to expose my friend, but I'm pretty sure he called me at some point when this guy was in Abyss. He's like, he talked to me off stream and said like, or maybe it was on stream, I don't know. He's like, man, I had so much fun playing against the Field Generator. I played Plunge Attack Neuvillette or some shit. He cleared it with Molani, which made him hate it. Oh, fair. He ranked it lower because of Molani. Okay, fair. Wait, if that's the case, then I'm allowed to put fucking Papilla in F because of Knight. Fuck you. Okay, I'm actually kind of happy with this list, bro. I'm kind of happy with this list. Should be B tier, but you committed war crimes. Fuck you. Herra might also be B, but I just found it really interesting. I don't know. I just found it really interesting. Bosses smash or pass?